What's with your daddy long leg convention under your leaf there, Mom?
I don't know. I didn't notice it until you pointed it out. I'm too busy looking down, watering.
We're all having fun.
Well, hopefully they're eating something other than my greenery.
Are you being a shepherd for today?
Well, no, this is my magic stick, my magic wand. This is to disturb all of the spider webs that make their home, the spiders that make their webs here like this. And for some reason, they love doing it just about face high for me. And yeah, so I have these all over the yard. I harvested one zucchini.
Yeah.
And I have squash vine borers.
Oh, man.
And this happens to me every year. I harvest one, and then the plant goes kaput because of the squash vine borer. Here is evidence of the squash vine borer. See this, the opening with this yellow crud?
Yeah.
And over here,
Where it splits open.
that's where they've bored a hole into the stem. And then they lay their eggs and they suck out the juices of the plant and kill it. So,
So what does the tinfoil do?
supposedly keeps them from being able to bore into the stems.
Aren't they just gonna climb past the tinfoil and...
Supposedly
Go up
not.
there?
I'm just telling you what I read. And when my zucchini first started growing, I said, I'm planting this borer-resistant plant,
Right.
and I will put tinfoil on the stems.
But you didn't put tinfoil on the stems?
No, I said, I changed my mind and said, oh, I'm confident this will work. I'm confident the borers will not like this particular zucchini. And so I gambled and I lost. So I'm going to cut out the plants that are infected, and we shall see if the remaining plants with the tinfoil make it. Now, I don't know whether the borers have actually gotten in there yet, because I didn't do it early enough.
Right.
So big faux pas, big faux pas. It's upsetting because the vines themselves the plants are doing so well and setting fruit. It's very prolific. And I now have to cut out the ones that are infected. So, to all my viewers out there, if you do plant even this particular squash, make sure you put tinfoil on the stems as well.
In the hopes that works. We
In the hope.
we still don't even know if that will work.
Right. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
But I do have some more zucchini seeds, so I'm tempted to plant, start a couple more plants, put tinfoil on, and transplant them out here.
Is it too late to do another round?
Not with this particular squash because, again, supposedly it will grow and fruit all summer.
Okay.
I don't know. Again, it's one big experiment. So I'm going to go get the hose and do some watering. And my dahlias droop so easily. And we will, I'll do some watering and then we'll cut out the zucchini, the infected zucchini plants, and then we have to top tomatoes.
Okay.
Because they're obscene now.
Yeah.
They're just obscenely overgrown. So
That's obscene, Mom.
I know, I know.
You eating cherry tomatoes again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, when they're ultra ripe, I just can't help myself. That felt like a pit.
A pit and a tomato?
Well, it's very hard in there. So much for that tomato.
Are you growing a new type of tomato?
Oh, I hope not.
A tomato that has pits?
Oh, Lord. Yeah, we had a number of things going on here. This has been the rainiest month in May in years and years and years. We've just had so much rain. And the tomato leaves have just been sitting with water on them. So that contributed to blight, as you can see. A lot of the tomatoes are determinate, so it's getting ready for them. Their cycle is that they are dying off and the tomatoes are ripening.
Mm-hmm.
We had a huge infestation of bugs. Caterpillars, I think there were three different kinds.
Two types of caterpillars, yeah.
Bugs galore. I mean, it was incredible.
Because of all the rain and the cold weather we've had.
Mm-hmm. So they were eating not only the leaves, but some of the fruit.
Right.
Blight set in because of the weather, because of the fact that they were so close together. That is a contributory factor.
That was, I don't want to point fingers, but that was your mistake because you did 2 per pot.
Which I knew
right.
to begin with.
We took a chance and it didn't really work out well.
Right. Most of the tomatoes that I planted, 15 different varieties of tomatoes, and most of the ones that I planted they were all started from seed, but I picked them so that they were for hot and humid climates.
Which we haven't had.
We didn't have hot and humid climate. This was an extremely unusual spring.
We had cold and wet.
Cold and wet. So the varieties that I picked did not do well in that regard. We had terrible downpours of rain, so we lost a lot of tomatoes just falling off. You can see them there in the pots. There's more over there from last night. It's just not been a very good spring for tomatoes. So I decided to give everybody a haircut, get rid of the wetness and dankness and bugs, and hopefully let the tomatoes that are on the vine ripen up. And then I will pull all of these tomato plants and put in a second crop.
Which you have started.
Yes. Well, some. Yes. I'm still waiting on some more seeds. But I have 4, 5 seeds planted already.
Sprouted indoors.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Under grow lights, yeah. On a heat mat. So by the time these tomatoes have ripened and the vines have died, we'll pull them out. We'll take some of the soil out, add some fresh soil and nutrients, and plant a second crop. And I will be planting nothing but determinate tomatoes for the second crop because they have a short growing season. They ripen all at once and then they die. So doing doing 2 crops a season, you pretty much have to go with determinants.
Which is fine for us here because it's so hot and humid.
And we have a growing season, a long growing season.
But I'm saying it's so hot and humid in the dead of summer that nothing blossoms anyway.
The plants will blossom, but once the temperature goes over 85, they won't send out pollen, they won't fertilize.
Right.
So you have gorgeous plants and you have flowers, but you will not get fruit. So it's kind of, that's the problem with indeterminate tomatoes in the coastal area that we're in. So it just gets too hot, too humid for too long a period of time, normally.
Mm-hmm.
Normally. This has been an abnormal season. So I don't know what, I don't know what the next couple months are going to bring. But this is my plan. These tomatoes will all ripen. We'll pull these vines out. We'll amend the soil. And then I can put in new plants and we'll have another crop of tomatoes. And also, I think next year, all cherry tomatoes are indeterminate, which means that they will grow and grow and they'll produce the whole season. But again, they're growing up through my roof, they're growing over whatever is up here. And as you can see, there's plenty of tomatoes up there. Well, I'm not going to be able to pick them. So there'll be food for the birds, which in and of itself is okay. But then they're shading the rest of my tomatoes. So we have to change that. We have to change that. I think next year I will put up another archway and another tunnel, and I will grow my cherry tomatoes out there.
Okay.
And if the squirrels and birds get some, hopefully I'll plant enough to offset what they take.
So you're going to plant all your cherry tomatoes outside of the tomato room?
I think so. That's my plan in my head at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. That could change. But at the moment, that's what I'm thinking. Because this is silly. Yes, this is lovely. You know. But look at all the tomatoes that are up there and over on the outside. And even if I were to put some sort of an extension from this wall over to the archway.
What you were thinking about.
Yes. Then I'm shading my dahlias and I'm shading my zinnias and my basil. So what am I really accomplishing?
And they don't really want to grow laterally anyway. They keep wanting to go straight up.
Right, right. They kind of fell down, but now they're turning up again. So, I mean, I could put something across here, but then I risk shading my dahlias, and I'm not willing to risk that.
Okay.
My dahlias are more important than the cherry tomatoes.
So the next batch of cherry tomatoes, are they going to be on like A-frames or you?
No, archways like
Oh,
this.
okay. Like the Tractor Supply
Right.
Cattle panels?
Right, right, right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And we just had a large tree taken down.
Let's go show that.
Okay.
Mom, what happened to your garden?
It disappeared. In a matter of a half hour, it disappeared. Everything had to be moved. Everything.
Because there was a limb that needed to be taken out.
There was a large limb way up at the top over there that was leaning over the house, and so that was cut down. And the large oak tree over back here was cut down, and as you can see, that it was a huge tree and extremely tall. So when they cut it, they had to drop the branches, which were very long. And
so we moved everything that was there.
Over there.
Stuck it around various places over there.
Right. This looks absolutely naked, and it looks like somebody just dropped napalm and just gone. Just gone.
But it's all over there, Mom.
I know, in pieces.
It didn't go, I mean, it went somewhere, but everybody's is still in their pots. They're just
And
over
do
there.
you remember exactly where those pots went?
Oh, sure.
You do not. You do not, because I don't.
Well, consider this a time to improve upon what you had before and make it even better.
I
Or-
can't really do that until I get some more cattle panels to make more archways.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to do that till next year, but I'm thinking about that now because it's all open.
But like you said, it's a good thing all this was in pots, because if it was in the ground or raised beds, they
I'd be
would have
dead
been
in the water.
You
We
would have crushed
lost it.
everything. Right.
Because the branches were so big that when they fell, yeah.
And we did that in preparation for hurricane season. So it kind of had to be done.
Right.
So you can start again. We'll put everything back. It'll be fine.
Yes. I have to start all with new tomato plants.
Right.
Yeah. So,
your garden will have a rebirth.
right. It's all one big experiment. And hopefully Mother Nature will cooperate and give us warm and humid weather so the new plants that I'm getting, which a number of them are from Hawaii. The seeds are from Hawaii. They were developed in Hawaii for hot and humid weather.
Okay.
So for the first time in 20 years, I'm hoping for hot and humid weather so that my tomatoes do well. So, yes, it will be interesting.